Peace, family. I want to talk about this controversy behind the Bible and the biblical Hebrews, or the Hebrews in general, and the inception of the term and what it means to be a Hebrew or what it means to be chosen by God. This is essentially going to be a vast study, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody is really talking about this. And I'm taking it upon myself, you know what I'm saying, to really highlight the legitimacy of what a Hebrew really is and what a Hebrew actually is. Because when you look up the etymology of it, it's the only true and profound definition of it. It comes from uh, the Bible. And the Bible is very, very complex when it comes down to truth. You literally have to believe the Bible if you don't understand or have knowledge of the truth and the facts or historical record when it comes down to what has happened in the world that brought about this so-called God chosen people and what it means to be chosen and the lineage of Noah and the three groups and races of people that happen to come from this particular person who in many cases people believe that he's black. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand documented history, you look at the time period of Noah and you look at the time and what the actual happenings that were going on, like the Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end. You know, so taking all of this into consideration, we really need to identify what does it mean scientifically to be a Hebrew. When you talk about the Hebrew Israelites and all of this and these different sects of Hebrew Israelitism and stuff like that, they include different races, like, and we all have heard that the Hebrews or the original Hebrews were black and this like that and stuff like that. So, but they also include Hispanic people, Latin people, uh, certain Arabs and Indians and stuff like that. And you wonder why. You got to wonder why. Why are these people being included into the Hebrew Israelite, not only culture, but genetics? Because truly, the genetics of a Hebrew are essentially being identified and accepted by these Hebrew Israelite factions. So studying the Bible from a biblical perspective is not enough. And I stand out on a limb on that. It's not enough. You got to understand the scientific record, the archaeological facts, the paleontological record that identifies, and the chronology of the inception of what a Hebrew really is. What does the term Hebrew mean? How did they get their religion? How did they get the truth? How did they become God's chosen people to bring the knowledge of God to the world, to the degree to where the rest of the world was in savagery, as if no laws had been implemented between God and man and between man and man. So these are questions that must be asked, you because of all of the controversy. And I am doing an exhaustive study, between scholars, those two scholars, one being Dr. Sheikh Job. He wrote a book called The Destruction of Black Civilization. No, that's Chancellor Williams. This book is called, Sheikh Job's book is called Civilizations of Barbarism. And the other book, Destruction of Black Civilizations by Chancellor Williams, where Chancellor Williams highlights and describes what is called a new breed of people that have their inception between people that happens in a war situation. You know what I'm saying? Invasions and things of that nature. And then you have Dr. Sheikh Joke, who says the same thing, but actually goes a little bit deeper when it comes down to the archaeological records. You see what I'm saying? And begin to highlight time periods by way of which were these 6 specimens of man left Africa, because we all know, it should be known amongst us, that every race and every group of people came from one blood. You see what I'm saying? And that is the black man, you know. And considering these situations, considering these circumstances and this knowledge, you have to begin to ask critical questions, because we also have in the Bible that it talks about people saying that they are Jews, and the Bible says, according to the Spirit of God, that they are not. They are imposters. You see what I'm saying? And these factions being the Ashkenazi and the Khazarian Jews, who are actually people are European in geneticism. They're European. You see what I'm saying? And Jesus, even in the New Testament, said that they are the seed of the serpent. And they also call themselves the seed of the serpent. So you have all of this, mysterious shrouded in mystery of the identity of the Hebrews. Now, I used to, subscribe to the Hebrew Israelite culture. You see what I'm saying? The religion, and I have began to dive deep into trying to identify, the tribes and what tribe I'm a part of, and all these particular things like this. But the controversy is so extreme. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the teachings and the biblical aspect, the letter. You know what I'm saying? The laws, the statutes and ordinances, and where did they come from? Because you have this challenge by, the Kemetic teachings, and the Kemetic teachings being the first spiritual teachings that ever existed. You know what I'm saying? And historical record shows that everything, whether it be Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, has its foundation in the Kemetic spiritual system. You cannot get around it. It's there. You know what I'm saying? And when you peel off layer after layer after layer, you're going to find yourself in the same place when it comes down to the origin of these religions. And then you also have to find the origin of these people who are said to be the chosen people of God. You know what I'm saying? So you have this personage in the Bible called Noah. Noah, who is said to be the 8th from Adam, had 3 sons. And these particular sons are 3 different races. How does that happen? You see what I'm saying? And the chronology of the age, it seems to be backwards, because we know scientifically that Ham, being a black man, scientifically was the first man on the planet. But they identify Shem first, because it's itemized in the Bible, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, as if Shem is the oldest, when we know that that's not true. We know that Japheth is the progenitor of the white race. You see what I'm saying? Who has to be classified as the youngest of the 2. And we know that Shem, or the Shemitic people, you see what I'm saying, are or is the person by way of which the Hebrews come from through Abraham. As we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise, the children of Abraham. You see what I'm saying? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. who come from Shem. But who is Shem? What is Shem? Where does the term Shem come from? The name Shem, what does it mean? Shemitic. What does Shemitic mean? Scientifically. Because we know in the Bible it says that this was a person that lived. But we also know that the Bible is allegorical, metaphorical. You can't take it at face value. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start trying to identify who these people are and place them in a chronological position in history to find out how did these people, if they ever existed, came into existence. You see what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? We gonna find out. We're going to find out. And, you know, just like this video, share this video, and subscribe, because I'm finna do a series. I don't even know how many parts, because it's so much history. It's so much information to highlight what I'm presenting to you, the controversy around the children of Israel and the Hebrews, who they really are. What does it mean to be a Hebrew? What does Hebrew mean? You see what I'm saying? I'm up to my, you know, my wits end about this. I got to know, and I'm doing the research, and I'm finna share it with you guys, because from what I'm seeing and from what I understand, that the Shemitic people, all of those who fall under the banner of Shemitic, when you look at the term Shemi or semi, it means mixture between white and black. Semi-white and semi-black. That's what it means. You see what I'm saying? Shemitic. The language of Shemitic speaking people, from the science of etymology and linguistics, is a mixture of tongues and dialects. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said before, we finna be right back with the next video. I'm not finna take too much time. I'm finna upload this video so that y'all can begin to, you know what I'm saying, comment on the video. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, if you're a Christian, and just, you know, just to let you know, a lot of people think that Judaism came before Christianity, which is another aspect of why, you know, there's so much controversy around this. Because how does Christianity come before Judaism? And Christ came through the Hebrews. They should have had their religion and their way of life before Christianity even came into existence. But that's not the case. Christianity came before Judaism. Judaism comes from the term Judea, or Judah, who is one of the children of Israel. So the chronology is so, you know, switched around. You know, it shows you that there's something going on, that these people, or people that wrote the Bible, you know, wrote history or got their hands tied up in history, just do not want us to know. And we battling and struggling and fighting each other over, you know, who is chosen. Everybody want to be chosen. What does chosen mean? Chosen simply means, you know, something that is, when you just for example, if you want to write a book, the best thing to use in your rough draft is to use a pencil, because you have the option to erase. You can edit, even though you can edit with a pen or you can edit with a typewriter. Is you know, most writers use pencils, and then they transfer over into ink. So it's best to choose a pencil. See what I'm saying? So conceptually, you know what I'm saying, the term chosen means to choose something specifically for the job. It has to be something for a task. And the children of Israel, or the Hebrews, allegedly were chosen to bring the knowledge of God to the world and bring his moral statute, his laws, statutes, and ordinances to humankind so that they can be saved from the wrath to come, by Satan or as a result of Satan. And then we got to go all the way back, you understand me, to the Garden of Eden. We got to fast forward. We got to talk about Adam and Eve. We got to talk about their children and how they, what they did, and, and travel all the way up to Noah, because we got to deal with the 3 sons of Noah in order to find out who this Shem guy is and find out who the Hebrews are that came from him. Peace, family.